Hello everyone, my name is Kaelyn Hayes, and this summer I'll be conducting research with Dr. Ricky Volpe, focusing on the economic impact mergers and acquisitions have on the California grocery industry. So this research is one component of a much larger research project that is funded directly from CGA, the California Grocers Association, and the ARI, the Cal Poly Agricultural Research Institute. So to touch on who CGA is, first they have worked directly with the Agribusiness Department since 2014, supporting students with scholarships, research support, internship stipends, and even a chance to present at their annual conference to the top retail decision makers in California. So CGA actively promotes and protects legislative interests of the food retail industry. So they're the voice that presents highly detailed information on the characteristics and economic impacts of the food retail industry to state and local policymakers. So this is how they find practical solutions for issues directly affecting the grocery industry. Within the grocery industry, there are almost 11,000 grocery stores, 8,000 supermarkets, and over 300,000 grocery store employees. As you can see, it is an enormous industry with a great number of establishments, which employs a ton of people. Although, if I were to ask the question, what are the top industries that make up California's GDP? The answer that would most likely come to mind is the Hollywood art and entertainment industry or production agriculture. One would think food retail would fall behind both of these categories, but it turns out the California grocery industry is one of the most important industries in the state, valuing higher than both the entertainment and production agriculture industries. The California grocery industry has gone through some noteworthy changes over the past 2 decades. As you can see, California's population has grown much faster than the number of grocery stores and supermarkets, and there are a substantial number of employees being hired, thus increasing the overall store size. What this says about today is, in order to feed the growing population, we are continuing to have fewer but larger supermarkets, meaning we have a more concentrated market. And the major force driving this increase in concentration has been mergers and acquisitions. By using a definite list of mergers and acquisitions within the California grocery industry through the years 2010 and 2015, we'll be able to look at lists of data, which I'll get back to what they are in a minute, in which I'll be able to identify the changes in the geographic areas affected by key competitors. So for example, the famous Albertsons and Safeway merger. The data set will allow us to analyze on an extremely detailed level the geography behind the economic impact of these mergers and acquisitions had per zip code, city, county, the number of affected chains and stores, and what the monetary value was if applicable. The very nature of the grocery industry, particularly in California, is changing rapidly right before our eyes. The average store has, like I said before, increased in size, offering more unique products, adding in larger aisles, and featuring specialty stations like delis, sushi bars, etc. Examining mergers and acquisitions are a vital factor to understanding why these structural changes are happening. Economists have been studying these events, and the data shows how mergers and acquisitions are directly affecting things such as food prices, food quality, customer service, product availability, and the overall experience you have when you are out getting your groceries. So by using InPlan Online, a multiple federal and state data set, we will be able to measure the changes in revenues, impacts on related industries, tax revenue, and total employment wages from the years 2010 to 2015. So from this data, we'll be able to see specifically how these mergers and acquisitions affect the economy. And what will be interesting is comparing that data to areas in California where no mergers or acquisitions happen. And this will allow us to conduct and perform a difference in difference approach. So basically what that means is we will measure how things change in our treatment group, being where our mergers and acquisitions took place, and then measure our control group where there were no mergers and acquisitions, and then subtract out all the unobservable variables to get the actual effects the mergers and acquisitions had on the areas. And so unobservable factors would just be effects of minimum wage, or like a recession, something that affects the U.S. economy that will also affect California. So as you go about your grocery shopping, I encourage you to think about how this experience may change as the California grocery industry continues to evolve. It seems now the grocery industry is in the news all of the time about different mergers, acquisitions, and other changes. For example, Amazon buying Whole Foods. Who knows what will become of this monumental acquisition? I thank you for your time and am excited to share my results with you at the end of the summer.